Martin Butler and welcome to this new part of my channel, and in this part we're going to be growing stuff in my garden. Now I've never done this before, it's going to be totally new to me, so I'm going to be learning along the way, and I'm no expert, but I hope to show you my journey from someone who's a total novice in this field to someone who hopefully over the coming year and coming few years will show you that you can actually grow stuff from your own garden. Now, my first little project is going to be planting potatoes. Now, I understand that they take about 12 weeks to grow from the seed potato right through to where you can actually dig them up. And I have made the decision to grow them in these 42 litre containers. For the simple reason is that, one, it's very difficult to dig things out of the ground. And if I've got them in a container like this, for example, when they're ready to be gathered or harvested, all I have to do is to put a tarpaulin on the floor and literally tip the whole contents out and just pick the potatoes out, and I can reuse that compost again. So that is the reason why I'm actually using this. Plus also the ground which I'm in as well is apparently quite deep. It's very clay, down to about half a metre down. It's very solid clay, so I don't want to really grow anything into the ground as well for that reason. I'm going to be putting a polytunnel up, as you know. So initially what I've got to do by using these containers is to basically put some drill holes all around the outside, because what I intend to do is to leave these standing outside and place these on the floor and hopefully put a little channel of earth, or dig a little channel of earth where I can sit these in, and then I'll cover the earth up above the holes, and that way all the nutrients that is in the actual basket, when the roots come down and grow, they'll be able to grow out through the holes as well and actually get nutrients out of the ground as well. So that's the plan anyway. So what I'll do first is I'm going to drill some holes in these, and then we'll start planting my first crop of seed potatoes. Right, I don't know if you can see what I've actually done there. I've gone round the perimeter, as you can see. Is that clear? Can you see that? I'm not sure. That's the inside of it. And what I've actually done there, I've not drilled them right down to the bottom of the hole, so if I do water, all the water isn't going to... I'm not going to put no holes in the bottom, because if whatever fluid or water I put in would drain straight out. So by leaving about an inch below, what I'm hoping is going to happen, that in the event of there being some sort of dry patch, there will still be wet compost along the bottom, obviously. So that's the idea there. But I've given these holes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've done 6 holes there, so I might do another 2 there actually. In between them ones, 8. Shall I do them? Yeah, let's do them. We'll do 8 altogether. What I've ended up there, as you can probably see, is 8 holes, all evenly spaced. Basically I drilled opposite each hole until I had 8 holes in there. So that's what I've got there. Now what I'm going to basically do now is I'll put them to the side for 1 minute, and I'll do this one and we can set this one up, and once you've seen how I've done this, then we'll go ahead and do the rest. So let's set this one up. Right, so what I'm going to do initially now is just literally fill about just above them holes, about a third of the way up I suppose, with normal compost, which I've got here. Put it over there. Just drop that down there for a moment, and let's get this bag open. So I'm quite excited. I've never actually done anything like this before, so I'm quite looking forward to hopefully getting some good results. So again, this is just straightforward general purpose compost. I think it was about $2.99 a bag, not all that dear. So I'm just going to fill this So just above the holes. I suppose I should really wear gloves, or at least cut my nails, because I'm not used to having all this sort of stuff underneath my nails, to be honest with you. So let's just show you what we got there. So as you can see there, I've filled that up to probably a third, I suppose, third of the way, and it is literally just above the holes on the outside there, if you can probably just see that there. So I'm just going to add to that some plant food, not some fertiliser. And again, I'm not an expert on these, I've just bought this one, not knowing exactly what really I've bought. I know it's plant food, or multi-purpose plant food, or fertiliser. So no doubt over the foreseen years I'm going to be on a learning curve about what products to use. I don't really want to use things that are going to cause any damage. I'd like to keep this as organic as possible. As I say, until I actually get up and running, I'm basically just winging it at the moment. So I'll just have a little look on the packet. Let's see what they recommend. Scatter 70 grams per metre squared. In other words, 2 ounces per yard. I'm not too sure what that is. So what I'll basically do is to I suppose I'll take about a small cup like that, for example, put that in there and basically mix that into the soil that's already in there, and hopefully that will provide some nutrition for my growing potatoes. Now again, I don't know, these are potatoes I've never purchased seed potatoes before. These apparently are 10 Premier seed potatoes. Now I actually let's show you one of them. They feel a bit soft to me, and when I actually got hold of these I thought they was old potatoes and they're not going to be any good. So I got onto the chap who's selling them, and he said that these are last year's crop and these are ready to go now. He said they're ready to be planted now. He said they're not like new potatoes, which are sort of hard and basically look like a normal potato. These are a good potato for general all-round stuff, so I'm going to give them a go anyway. And you're supposed to sow these with the eyes or the chits facing upwards, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm only going to put 2 per pot, so I don't know whether that's going to be enough, but that's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep them facing upwards and have them sort of evenly spaced, as you can probably see there, in the pot, covered up. And I'm going to put probably about another couple of inches of soil over the top of them now, because what you're supposed to do apparently with potatoes is, as they increase or as they break through the surface, you're supposed to what they call earth them up. So when you get the shoots come through at about 2 or 3 or 4 inches, for example, you then add more soil until they keep coming up, until you've actually filled the container with soil, and then that's when they're taking off then. So I'm just going to say add another couple of inches of soil on top of these, compost rather, nice and loosely. Just gently pat it down, don't compress it too much obviously, I don't know why, but there you go. And that apparently is all you have to do to start your potatoes growing from seed potatoes in containers or pots or whatever. So that's the first one down, and what I'll do now is I'll carry on and do exactly the same to the next 3 bags and get all these potatoes in their pots. There they are, all in situ. I've planted them just below the lines, as you can see, so you can't see them watering holes. So I'm hoping, as I say, when we see the first lot of shoots start to appear, when they're about 3 or 4 inches up, I shall then put another layer of compost on top so that they're basically barely sticking out, and as the shoots come up we'll fill the buckets even further, and then when they get to the top, the earth, that's when you just leave them to do their own thing, and hopefully in 12 weeks time we'll have potatoes. There you go, first lot I've ever sown. There we go, that's the first row of veg I've ever planted, so we'll see how it turns out anyway. I'll see you in the next episode when we'll be going on to something different. Until then, speak to you soon.